Hey bombers and bombshells, it's your girl Claire Sulmers, and we're here with a very special edition of Fashion Bomb TV, created in collaboration with DZRPT Media, and we are reporting live from Primi Piatti in beautiful Lagos, Nigeria. And I'm here with Toke Makinwa.
She got it!
I got it!
Hi, bombers and bombshells.
There we go. We're having a fun cocktail. What is this cocktail?
I think they're called jam jars.
Jam jars.
Yes, cheers.
Cheers. I don't know what's in there, but it's delicious. I'm like so excited to talk to you.
I am so excited to meet you as well. I'm such a huge fan.
Thank you.
I think you're doing amazing.
Thank you so much.
Well done.
So to a lot of our readers, they might not be familiar with you and who you are, so can you give us a quick rundown of what people should know about Toke?
My name is Toke Makinwa. I am Nigerian. This is coming to you from Lagos, Nigeria. I'm an author right now, media personality as well. I work on radio and television, and a huge fashionista, if I can say so myself.
Yeah, who are you wearing today, by the way?
Well, the top is actually from a boutique in Nigeria called Miss K Boutique. And then the shoes.
You gotta extend.
So I thought...
These are...
Thank you. Thank you very much. So social media is the next best thing. We're closer to each other by a click.
Yes. So you have a ton of followers on Instagram.
I do.
How many followers?
Well, we're almost at 1 million. I think we're about 950 today, actually. Yes. Gone were the days when radio personalities were heard and not seen. But I think people like Rand Seacrest, Angie Martinez, if you love fashion, you love music, you can throw them all together and make it work in a way. Being a fashion person, you can add music to that, you can do hair, makeup. It's a whole new world.
Yeah. What do you think are the secrets to your success? Why do people follow you?
To be honest with you, Claire, I would say I'm a very spiritual person, so yeah, I would say God first to start with. Because I mean, I went into this not having any plans. I think I was just a girl who was excited about her job. And for me, it was just reaching people via the radio or the YouTube channel, because I have I think I have 4 million viewers on YouTube as well. And, I would usually just put out videos. I was very passionate about what I did. I wasn't really thinking about the celebrity side and, what comes with it. Because I think the moment you start to think about that before the work, you're completely off. So it's basically just doing what you love to do and being dedicated, I think, is also one of the keys as well. It's never going to start off with a bang. If it does, you should be worried.
Right.
At some point, something might go wrong. So I appreciate the hard times and the difficult challenges because they propel you and teach you the staying power, the strength you need to become relevant. So I would say dedication. I would say being passionate as well. And of course, the God factor.
What's the best part and what's the worst part about being a celebrity?
The best part is you get to meet so many people, You have access to so many things, people, places, things, and, it's amazing, You have friends all over the world. You have people who walk up to you and are influenced by your lifestyle. And I never saw myself as a celebrity because it was very weird for me at the start when people would send me all those emails. I'd be like, really? I'm just trying to figure things out on my own, I'm not perfect or all of that. You cannot take the good and leave the bad,
Yeah, so let's talk about the bad.
The bad, people have kind of like ideas of what they think you are, do you know what I mean? And not many people have the opportunity to get to know you personally, to say, Claire is not this, oh, she's lovely, she's fantastic. People just run with what they think, they see. And the media is very, very delicate, It could be good, it could also be very dangerous. As I say, I never really dwell on that because the good outweighs the bad for me.
Right. What do you think is the biggest misconception about you?
That I'm just this vain girl who just loves to look good, who has nothing upstairs, who just loves designer clothes and shoes. It's controlled content, people. Not that it's bad, because I do love designer shoes and clothes, and I am vain, and I'm not ashamed of it. So I love to give back as well, and I'm very passionate about things that have to do with women. I'm very passionate about women's rights and, just being more as women, because, as Black women, most especially, we have been through so much. There was a time where, even as white women, I think, we're always seen as the weaker sex first to start with, and people can say, I want to be the next Claire. I want to travel the world and experience different things and be passionate about what I do and spread the good news of either fashion or music or arts or whatever it is that you do.
Okay, your book.
Yes.
Let's talk about your book.
That is like the latest Toke Makinwa venture. I know you have a book you're working on.
Yeah.
So you totally have to send me yours when it comes
will.
out. I did get married in 2015. I got married in 2014, actually, February 2014. And in 2015, I went through a devastating time. The person I married got someone else pregnant. And I found out just like the world did. And yeah, so it was a roller coaster of, so many people. It taught me so much, I'll tell you, Claire. Where people always say things like women support women and women should look out for women and, we're supposed to stick out for each other. This is not saying the men folk or the men gender are bad people. People make mistakes, but, you can't sit there and say the reason why this person's marriage did not work out is because this person had a career. People literally use that against me to say this is the reason why your marriage wouldn't work because you're so busy chasing money or because you're so busy trying to build a life for yourself. And I thought, this is supposed to inspire us as women folk, to stick together. And so it was really a trying time. And in that moment, I like to say God told me to write this book because, you're literally trying to find, I was trying to survive, to be honest with you. It was people saw this strong person who was going about working and not being, sort of faced by what was happening. But that wasn't true. I was drowning. I was literally drowning. And the only thing I knew to get me out of it was work because that was the only place that I could focus and not literally think about what else is happening around me. So, in the quiet time and moments and the tear-filled nights, I, got wind of, what, every single time the Spirit had said to me, write a book, I would come up with excuses such as, people will read, but I like to do something that is from a genuine point. So I always just ignored it. I first thought it was my wishful thinking, trying to, would I ever think about writing a book? Did I want to write a book at this point? Is it too early in my career? And then when the word came to me in July, it was almost like the Spirit saying to me, the first time I told you to write a book, you said you didn't have any content. So now this is all the content you need. This book will change people's lives. This book would help someone. Because what happened to me is it's not a new thing. People get betrayed every day. People go through, you get married to someone and they become someone else. Men, women as well. So a lot of people do not have that outlet. People just deal with it by bottling up so much and just going on and, hoping that they will just get better. So it was really, really challenging, scary, exciting, nerve-wracking to write about my growth and write about my failures and write about my victory and write about my road to healing, really. So I hope every woman out there can read it and every man, please read it and change. Be good, man, So
let's dig into the content of the book.
Yes.
What lessons do you impart?
I feel like people don't talk enough, Claire. I feel like the reason why a lot of marriages are not working home and abroad, African American community, Nigerian, white folk as well, it's because people don't talk or share enough. I mean, a lot of people feel that the moment you let people know that all is not well, you have totally failed at this task or this assignment. And it's not true, There's no perfect marriage out there. There's no perfect relationship. We're all just struggling and trying. Doesn't mean that there are no good relationships. Of course there are. And it takes a lot of work. So I feel like, in our culture, being Nigerian and being African, people shame you to silence. People expect you to just carry on and act like your life is perfect. And the moment you show that something is wrong, then you're being seen as weak. You're being seen as not on top of your game. And we have to change that because a lot of people need to find that outlet. So it was very honest, I would say. I shared things that, shook me as well. I would read back and think, wow, and the feelings were raw, and I relived those feelings through writing. And, I guess healing came as well, so it was a healing process for me. It was necessary because I had to do that to heal.
What did you learn about yourself by going through that?
That I was very naive, that I was all too trusting, that I had daddy issues as well. But I think every girl, I mean, most females would either you had an absentee father or even the ones who had, you know, the dads who were in their lives. I lost both my parents when I was 8, and I buried them on the same day, and I did not fully realize how that affected my life. You know, you're a teenager and you're going through a rebellious phase, and you don't know that it's hurts that you haven't really spoken about, or hurts that you buried deep inside. So, you know, I found myself in a relationship that I had no business being in, as far as I'm concerned. And the biggest thing for me was I was afraid of change, because I'd seen things change very easily in my life, very early in my life when I was 8. So I was a sheep at harbor. You know, it's safe to be there, so you stay in relationships because you feel like, you know, at least the devil you know, what's that saying? The devil you know is better than
one you don't.
the one, yeah. So you literally sit there and hold on to these things that you think would make you happy and make you fulfilled, because you feel like trying to find happiness is a scary thought on its own outside of what you know. That's why it's called unbecoming, because we're all on a journey, you know? We're on a journey to be something. Either you're on a journey to be stronger, be wiser, be more grounded. So it was a very interesting phase and time of my life, but I'm very thankful, Claire, because I'm thankful it happened when it did, and I'm thankful that I had this platform that had been given to me to impact the world, and I felt like I had so much work to do in terms of, you know, sharing that message and letting people know that if you're going through this, you're not alone, and if you're trying to find out how to get out of this, you're not alone as well, you know, so we're all on the journey.
If you could go back and do one thing differently in your relationship, what would it be? Or were there any signs that you ignored? Or
there was no trust. I shouldn't have gotten married. I should have been like, you know what, let's not do this to each other, because it's tough for him, for me as well. And I also think that I kind of gave up too soon. But I feel like, you know, what do you do, man? You go through this over and over and over again. At some point, you start to protect yourself. And I started to do that, which is where I focused on work. And I just thought, if you're not going to change, I'm just going to be, you know, focused on building myself up to being who I wanted to be. So I think I would love to a point of neglecting myself and loving that person. So I didn't know if I was okay. I suffered delayed reaction as well, because, I mean, I remember the very first time I was told my parents had passed. I went out to ride a bicycle. I didn't really understand what it was. I feel like we don't talk enough. We're a generation that is, you know, everything is done on this thing called the mobile device. You WhatsApp, you BDM, you Snapchat, Instagram, whatever. I feel like people are forgetting to connect on a just
real level.
Real level. Let's just connect. And a lot of people ignore so many signs. You know, you see some certain things in this person and you feel like, I can work with it. You know what I mean? It might not be that bad. It might not be that bad, Claire. It could be really horrible. So a lot of women are feeling those voids and those empty holes they have inside of them. You know, it could be things that happen in your childhood. It could be things that you haven't resolved yet. And then you hold on to that relationship and feel like, this is giving me happiness for now. So let me hold on to this and just rely on this for the happiness. But if we are honest with ourselves and if we talk enough, if we communicate on that real level, you would see certain things. And, you know, it should be a wake-up call for you to be, I'm at this age, this is what I want for my life. This person is nice, great, a great individual, but might not be necessarily good for me. And once you tell yourself that, I know it's easier said than done, because, you know, you have all these feelings in your emotions and your heart that tells you you've been together for so long and, you know, what if I just try it one more time? The truth is, whatever you see when you're dating, marriage is a different ball game, you know? So get the good, the bad, take it all together and see if you can live with the bad.
What is your current relationship with your ex-husband?
We don't have a relationship.
No relationship.
Yeah, it's sad that there is none, but it is what it is. I guess
moved on.
Maybe a couple. Yeah, I mean, it is sad, we run into each other and it's like we're strangers. Like, but your heart always knows that you were once married to this person and you live with this person. Divorce is hard, regardless. Everyone who's been through this and who's watching this will probably know that it is a tough place to be. But the moments that you forgive yourself, because it's very, people are always quick to want to ask the other person for forgiveness, but you have to also be willing to look at yourself and sort of heal from within. And I'm as real as sitting here with you and saying, for every marriage to break, it's never one-sided. What he did was maybe, blown, was more than, but I was in that marriage, and it takes two for every, union to break or work. So, being honest with yourself will give you the strength to forgive yourself first. And then once you do, you can forgive that person.
Why do you think there's so much attention and scandal around your situation?
Even the way we got married, a lot of people probably had their doubts from the start. And when people see two people and think this is not going to work, they hold on to whatever reasons they see. Sometimes it's not known to you who's in the relationship, you know what I mean? And it was almost like what they thought happened. So
maybe it's also that you're one of the few who is transparent with everything.
You are kind of right. And I feel like in this business, it's one of the bad, you can't take the good alone, there's also the bad. I am transparent because I feel like, there are a lot of people out there who are dealing with, it could be even worse situations, and who do not have that outlet. And it's just mentally, there's something it does, just knowing that this person went through it and didn't die. It just gives you some sort of hope, You see someone who went through a situation and you feel like this person has walked through the fire, man. Like this person walked through that fire, has a head on his shoulder. Maybe I wouldn't die. Maybe this is a passing phase for me. So it was very important that I share as well, so that people can learn before it happens to them. And also, if you are in that situation, just know that it's not the end of the world. Heartache is tough. Public, private, even if you're not a celebrity, it is hard. It is one of the most difficult things ever, because it questions everything. You question every single thing. But, you have to also be thankful for the life you have. And the fact that you're still here shows that there's more to you than that situation. So if we can just get a hold of how we feel and take the lessons. It's important to take the lessons, Claire. It's so important to take the lessons. And what was misunderstood, it's all good.
When did you reach your lowest point? What was your lowest point?
In the marriage or outside of it?
In general. And how did you rise out of it?
The lowest point was definitely having my laundries in the streets. Just having my dirty laundry in the streets. Having people in my business, and just having people have ideas of what they think happened. It is one of the hardest things ever. People have their own opinions of what they feel, and their opinions is formed on what they can see, which might not necessarily be the truth. So I work in the media. I'm trying to do my job and I'm trying to stay alive. And just to have people just keep, you turn on the television and that's the topic. You're in your car and you're listening to the radio and that's what everyone's talking about. So it's almost like, guys, I'm real. This is real emotions. This happened to me. You can't just sit on a panel and say she deserves that. She had this vlog on YouTube where she talked about relationship. How do you talk about relationships when your own was on fire? Good question. But hey, how was I supposed to know that mine was on fire? And that was one of the hardest points. There were times when I was close to committing suicide. I thought, just end it now. There's no point. You're never going to make it out of this. But there were also times that I would have good days and I would sit there and look at the beautiful things around me. I was thankful for my career. I was thankful for all the wonderful people. I was thankful for life itself. I was thankful for family. And that was enough. So what I did was I took each day as it came. As hard as it was. I had no plans, Claire. I knew today I felt good. I'm rocking with it.
But what's next? What's next for you?
Working on a TV show as well. I feel like the book and we're going on a book tour from the first 3 months of 2017. So it's looking like an amazing year. And it's important that I say this because I don't know, I just have the urge to say that, you know, when you're going through certain things, you feel like it's the end of the world.
Right.
You know, what a difference a year can make. I'm in a good space now, and I never thought I would smile again. So for anyone out there who feels like this will kill you, it wouldn't. All right, so Claire, because I knew we were going to have a chat, I wanted you to have your own copy on Becoming. It's much. Like an open title.
This is so pretty, by the way.
Thank you. So you can slot in what you're becoming, because it's an open title, because it's on becoming ... If you're becoming strong, on becoming wise, on becoming hopeful, whatever it is.
What are you becoming?
I would say I'm becoming purposeful. I found my purpose in life, and I'm living in my purpose.
What's your purpose?
I guess sharing and you know, sharing my experiences with people out there and just reaching. It's beyond all the glam. It's beyond all the fashion. It's beyond what people see. It's, you know, sharing my own experiences, my losses, my victories. You know, how I did this, and just trying to connect and reach people, because you can't, you know, Michelle Obama said, and I'll always remember her for this, when you walk through that door, you've got to leave it open for those who are walking in behind you. You know, so it's important that you live a purposeful life where when you're gone, you're remembered for something. Exactly. So it's like I got through this phase of my life because Claire went through it, and she did not fail at it, and I held on to that, and it got me through mine. That sort of situation.
What do you want your legacy to be?
I've had a life full of challenges. Losing both parents at age was a lot, you know. And I didn't even know I was dealing with something, because you're 8, and the crop of 8-year-olds today are cool kids. When we were growing up back then, we weren't as exposed to the wealth of information that 8-year-olds today have. You know, so going through that, being insecure about a lot of things, not wanting people to sort of show you pity because they feel like just because you didn't have parents, there's certain things missing in your life, and battling through education, trying to get good grades, and not knowing that, you know, you went from being this bright child to actually top of the class to being in the bottom because you were dealing with something without knowing. And all along, my life has always shown to me that I go through certain things, not for me alone, but for some other person somewhere worldwide who might go through it and might feel like, watch this girl who's from Nigeria, and it kind of inspired me. And I'm going to work on my goals, and I'm going to write them and do them, and, you know, make
You're a
something.
survivor.
Aren't we all?
Yes.
But I'm sure there's everyone out there is surviving something.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. And this book will definitely speak to that.
Thank you. I hope you enjoy the read.
I can't wait to read it on my flight back to New York.
And I'm so excited about the back image as well. There's like 2 images in front of the back. So thank you so much, Claire. So this is your signed copy. I hope
Thank you.
It changes you as well. I hope that there's 1 or 2 things you can pick out to be
I cannot wait to read it.
Amazing.
So let's cheers to...
Cheers to becoming.
To becoming. Cheers.